Hi, so in this video, I'll be discussing the EOPTA or Ease of Payment of Taxes updates related to value-added tax. And in relation to that, updated na rin yung mga invoicing requirements for 2024.
The
Okay?
time is 6.
So under Revenue Regulation 3-2024, these are the regulations that implemented the ease of payment of taxes. Nagkaroon na ng shift from before it was actually old rules natin based on cash basis kapag service. So if your business is into service, cash basis ka. If you're into goods, accrual basis, meaning whenever magbibill ka, automatic magkakaroon ka na ng VAT, record ka ng income. Sa services, kapag ka nagka-collecta ka lang siya ng cash. But based on the EOPTA or the Ease of Payment of Taxes law, whether your goods or services, accrual basis na siya. Meaning whenever you bill, regardless if you've collected or not, you're actually going to record your own sale already. So in this case, record of any liability for VAT or income is going to be accrual basis. For VAT base, it's going to be based on gross sales. And the supporting document will now become an invoice. For service businesses, it can be a billing invoice, a service invoice. It can also be a collection invoice, cash invoice. Basta importante lang, invoice na siya. Invoice na siya. Kaya nga, if you're still using yung mga official receipts today, you're required to strike out the word official receipts and isastampan siya ng invoice. Later, I'll have different examples for that one. So, quick recap, no, for sales, we're on basis na natin dyan is yung gross selling price or pagka-service yan yung ibibill mo. I'll just run through some of the examples of VAT. Wait lang. Ito yung isa sa mga tricky part na in-introduce ng EOPTA, na tinatawag nila output VAT credit on uncollected receivables, is when if you have receivables or parang reverse lang siya ng previous na practice. So kung dati, upon collection siya magiging VATable, in this case, kapag binil mo, re-remit mo na yung VAT. If hindi pa bayad yung customer or yung client, in the next remittance mo, so quarterly yung remittance, in the next remittance, in the next quarter, hindi pa siya bayad. Tapos, meron po siyang tinatawag na payment terms or yung credit terms, lumagpas siya doon. You are entitled to actually reverse that payment of VAT. It's quite tricky, matrabaho siya, lalo na kung kasi may constant monitoring. So I really suggest that if you're going to practice this output VAT credit, medyo significant yung amount na i-credit mo or consistent na laging merong uncollected portion. So, if merong malaki, una-una, syempre, you need to evaluate yung current practice. Baka dapat i-improve yung collection na activities or baka dapat hindi mo, i-check mo kung i-bill mo pa ba talaga kung alam mo hindi makokolekta. Okay? So, this concept is wherein there's a lapse of agreed period to pay. So, output VAT pertaining to uncollected receivables may be deducted from the output VAT on the next quarter after the lapse of agreed period to pay. So, any uncollected receivable, that 12% of that will be removed in the next quarter. Tapos, kung subsequently ma-recover, hindi na kolekta, tapos biglang nagbayad si customer, in the next quarter ulit, there will be a additional output VAT. So, na VAT mo, tinanggal mo, tapos binalik mo ulit sa next quarter. So, parang in the third quarter, tsaka mo lang siya ma-recover or the fourth one, depende kung kailan mo siya na-recover. Okay? Ito is an update, no, yung RMC na number 65-2024. Ito yung ground rules on how to use this output VAT credit on uncollected receivable. So it's based on the interest of justice. Sellers of goods or services may deduct the output VAT on uncollected receivables when it's output VAT on the next quarter after the lapse of the agreed upon period to pay. So to be entitled for the VAT credit, the following requirements must be present. So the sale or exchange must have taken place after the effectivity of these regulations, which is April 27, 2024. The sale is on credit or account, meaning hindi siya cash sale, which is common yan sa mga service companies, right? There is a written agreement on the period to pay the receivable, meaning there's a credit term, yung N30, yung mga ganyan. So the VAT is separately shown on the invoice. Output VAT credit on uncollected receivable to be entitled, ito pa po, the sale is specifically reported in the SLS or summary list of sales when the sale was made and not reported as part of various sales. The seller paid in full the corresponding VAT indicated in the invoice within the period prescribed under existing rules, and the period agreed upon has, whether extended or not, has lapsed. So the VAT component of the uncollected receivable was not claimed as a deduction from gross income. Further, no, the benefit of out-of-VAT credit is merely an option. Kaya nga sasabi ko, you need to evaluate if you really want to practice this. No, it's not required to automatically claim the out-of-VAT credit, especially if the likelihood of collectibility is high. Ang important lang dyan, no, ito yung documentation, the seller shall stamp the phrase claimed output VAT credit on the seller's copy of the invoice, tatatakan niya yan, pertaining to the uncollected receivable in case of partial payments. The amount collected therefrom and the balance of the uncollected receivable shall be indicated para malaman mo may documentation requirement siya para mag-output VAT credit. So, ito yung itsura nun. So, sample lang yan dito sa right side. So, meron kang service invoice. Ito yung in-issue mo initially. Tapos, lumagpas na yung period when you were actually claiming for, lumagpas na yung period ng payment niya. Ngayon, kailangan mo stampan ng claimed output VAT credit if binawas mo yung VAT na yan in the next period. Tapos, you can also choose to issue a credit memo stamping that claimed output VAT credit. Tapos, itong copy na to, na may invoice stamp claim output VAT credit and supplementary document, which is the credit memo, ipoprovide mo yun sa customer mo. Subsequently, si customer mo, dapat i-reverse din niya any input VAT na claim niya in that transaction. Okay. What if na-recover? So, subsequently na-recover in the next quarter. So, in the next quarter, na-recover na yung binawas mo, then kailangan may stamp ulit siya na recovered. So, dito lang sinasabi, the seller is not required to issue an invoice upon the recovery of the previously uncollected receivable. Rather, the seller shall stamp the word recovered on the invoice that is the origin of the transaction that was previously declared as uncollected. So, kung may partial recovery, the amount collected therefrom shall be indicated. Recovery of uncollected, the seller may also issue supplementary document like debit memo, and like, so a copy of the invoice stamp recovered and supplementary document, if any, should be provided to the buyer pagka na-recover na niya. So, input VAT on unpaid purchases, same lang din ang sinasabi ko, kabilang side, dapat si buyer din magbabawas ng input na claim. So, the buyer should adjust and deduct the corresponding input VAT in its books accordingly. Correspondingly, this shall reduce the input VAT to be claimed in the quarterly VAT return. So, magtatagpo si seller at saka si buyer. So, in case the seller failed to provide the buyer such documents, the buyer can voluntarily reverse in its quarterly VAT return the claimed input VAT credit on its unpaid purchases where the agreed upon period to pay has already lapsed. Meaning, siya mismo magbabawas ng input VAT niya. So, lalaki yung babayaran, di ba? So, kailangan matchy-matchy kayo ni seller and ni buyer. Okay. So, to be entitled to VAT credit, very important. It's after the regulations, reported in the SLS, paid in full, and the period has lapsed. Tapos, it was not claimed as a deduction. Okay, so ito naman invoicing requirements. So, whenever you invoice, bottom line, VAT registered naman karamihan ng mga businesses ngayon. So, regardless of the amount of the transaction, you should be issuing a VAT invoice. Kapag non-VAT registered, dun lang siya pwedeng hindi mag-issue ng VAT invoice agad. But for every sale that's 500 or more, required ka mag-issue ng invoice. But if nag-request po si buyer ng invoice, dapat bibigyan mo rin siya regardless of the amount. At the end of the day, yung total na remainder of the transaction shall be issued an invoice tapos isasama doon sa i-declare na income. So ito yung invoicing requirements na important ma-distinguish. Yung principal invoice na lang ngayon needs to have the word invoice. Sales invoice, commercial invoice, cash invoice, miscellaneous invoice, billing invoice, that's also included. While yung supplemental invoice includes official receipt, delivery receipt, order slip, and etc. Yung mga acknowledgement receipt. Yun na po yun. So si official receipt which was a principal invoice before, ngayon supplemental na lang. So the seller is allowed to use any descriptive name for its invoice to describe the nature of the transaction with its buyers and purchasers, provided that in such cases, the word invoice is prominently printed. Okay. So ito yung mga required information sa VAT invoice. So kung wala kang new invoice, or magpapaprint ka new invoice, dapat nandito itong mga information na ito. It is clarified under RMC 77-2024. There is the word invoice is bigger. It's upper right. The seller's logo, it's also optional. Business name is optional. Pero seller's information should be in the upper left portion. Nakita mo kagad yung name, VAT Reg TIN, registered business address, the serial number of the invoice, date of transaction, the space provided for buyer's information para ma-prove na sapat yung input tax, and all the usual information na nandyan dapat. And regardless ngayon if services yan or goods, dapat meron po siyang item description or nature of service, quantity, unit price, and the amount. Yes, kahit service yan, dapat may quantity and unit price. Notice lang na wala dito is yung business style. Wala na siya sa mga requirements. Ito naman yung mga required na information. So, required information for non-VAT registered individuals or taxpayers. Ang difference yan, meron dito the document is not valid for claim of input tax. Transitory provision. So, ito yung may striking out na pinapagawa. So, for manual and loose leaf receipts, which is considered tayo part nito, itatabi ko lang sarili ko sa picture. Yeah. So don't worry, check the materials na lang. Use the remaining unused for option 1. Gamitin nyo po yung remaining OR mo as supplementary document, meaning hindi mo na siya gagamitin as proof of your income. Tapos kailangan meron siyang phrase that this document is not valid for claim of input VAT. Stamp on the face of the document. Option 2 is to convert the OR, which is commonly pinapagawa ngayon. There should be a word na invoice on top of the strike out official receipt na word. Pati rin po billing statement, pwede mo i-strike out tapos stampan mo ng billing invoice. So in addition to the striking through, so ito yon yung sinasabi ko, yung mga billing statement before, kailangan mo i-strike out, lagyan mo ng billing invoice. Tapos, kailangan idagdag mo yung mga information na kailangan, which is yung mga breakdown of the VAT. Okay. So any converted invoice, billing invoice, should contain the required information provided under Section 6, so which includes quantity, unit cost, and description or nature of service. It may also be stamped if not originally indicated in the balance sheet. So, okay, statement of account. The converted invoice, billing invoice, shall be considered valid for claiming of input tax by the buyer or purchaser. Meaning yan na po yung proof nyo pagka may naka-strike out tapos may invoice nakatatak sa taas. And ang important dyan, it can be used at the same time for the period issued from April 27 until they are fully consumed. Dati kasi hanggang December 31 lang pwede mo gamitin yung converted invoice. So ito po yung sample ng itsura niyan. As you can see, very crucial po sa unit cost and quantity. Papa-stamp po siya. Pwede rin siya dito sa area na to. Tapos dapat yung official receipt, naka-strike out, tapos gagawin ng invoice. Doon po sa isang side, meron po dapat dyan yung blank, nature of service, dapat naka-stamp. For billing invoice, same din, dapat naka-indicate din my nature of invoice. Ayan, so follow the similar format lang. So manual or loose leaf receipts. So all unused OR, BS, SOA, SOC to be converted as invoice, billing invoice shall be reported by submitting an inventory indicating the number of booklets and corresponding serial numbers on or before July 31. So dapat nag-submit niyan. Tapos CAS, CBA, so ito yung mga computerized accounting systems. For those that are using computerized accounting systems, entitled po kayo na gamitin pa rin yung current mo until December 31. Pero dapat ina-update nyo na yung system nyo kung meron kayong system. So you need to request a letter for extension in case the target completion date will be extended. So pwede rin yan i-strike out yung word na yung billing statement, tapos tapatan mo na ng invoice or billing invoice. Tapos no missing information dapat doon sa loob ng iyong invoice. So here's an example. So yung billing invoice, naka-strike out, may billing invoice, naka-strike out, official receipt. Ganun lang din. Meron lang din siyang information. This is for cash-registered documents. PRM, POS machine. So if you actually check different POS machines right now, yung mga nasa restaurants, marami na yung updated, naka-invoice na sila. Okay. So bottom line, sinasabi dyan, if you're going to actually shift, dapat iba na yung continuous yung number kung machine ka. Kung naka-CRM machine ka. Okay, so ito scenario. This is a good scenario. Seller should not issue another invoice upon receipt of payment. So very crucial yun. Hindi dapat nag-invoice ka for the billing, tapos mag-invoice ko ulit upon receipt. Kasi sinabi, dapat ganun. Hindi po. Dapat whenever you're collecting a payment, lalo na if it's after, no? If it pertains to after the April 27, 2024, dapat naka-invoice ka na niyan. Or depende sa situation. So in this case, scenario 1. Scenario 1, sale of goods or services and receipt. Isang date lang, April 27. So April 27, applicable na po yung IOCTA. So single invoice for both the sale and the receipt of the payment. Okay? Scenario 2, na-invoice niya on April 27. So nag-issue na siya ng invoice. No? Nag-bill siya. Pagka-bill niya, after na siya April 27, wala pang bayad. Upon payment or receipt ng collection niya, supplementary document, whether official receipt, acknowledgement receipt, collection receipt, no? Yun yung proof or yung document na kailangan niya. So, if baliktad po yung scenario, before April 27 nag-bill, so hindi ka pa nag-issue ng invoice doon. Upon collection mo, tsaka ka mag-issue ng invoice. So sellers have a choice of using more than one type of invoice. However, such choice should consider the transactions that will be issued said invoices. So you can use separate ones. Pwedeng may invoice ka, may cash invoice, may service invoice, may sales invoice, may billing invoice. Kaya pwede yun. So sinasabi dito, to streamline the process of report submission, taxpayers shall have the option to submit their inventory report or notice being required under RR electronically, via email, via direct email. Suggested format, nandun naman siya sa regulations. Actually concludes a very quick update in relation to ease of payment of taxes. Yes, ito po yung mga new things. If you think it's actually helpful, you can actually let me know. Kung if you need to update certain documents, update it already. If you need to change, whether mag-shift ka from billing statement to billing invoice, I highly suggest ipilaw nyo na. Ipilan nyo na yung mga invoices kung mapapaprint kayo ng bago. Usual setup niyan would change kasi nga upon billing na mag-issue ka ng invoice. Mag-change dyan yung documentation. So billing mo, i-billing invoice. That's when you declare the income. That's what you declare the VAT. Kapag collection mo na niyan, wala na declaration of VAT, just the receivable. No? And ang i-issue mong document dyan is going to be official receipt, acknowledgement receipt, collection receipt. So para lang siya nagtapat as goods na yung binibenta ng lahat ng tao for EOPTAS update. Okay? I hope you learned a lot and thank you so much. And ciao.